All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er video as we look ahead to the draft. And today, and of course, make sure you check out Pig and a Pickle. They're in Emeryville and in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in Corte Madera, 5 days a week in Emeryville, the best barbecue in Northern California. Pig and a Pickle. And thanks to them for being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right, let's look ahead to the draft. 49ers are looking for a couple DBs in this draft. One of the guys they were looking for is a slot corner. You know, Jimmy Ward was a terrific slot player, and they miss him. And he moved on to the Texans. And you've got Charvarius Ward, you got the Amador Lenore, you have Samuel Womack. They brought in Isaiah Oliver. They signed Miles Hartsfield. They've got a nice mix of players, but I expect them to draft at least one premier slot corner, and my favorite is Kei'Trel Clark, a slot corner from the University of Louisville. He's only 5'10 and 181 pounds, not the biggest guy ever. He went to Manchester High School in Richmond, Virginia. This guy's been a great player his whole life. He was a two-time All-State player in high school, and he started his career at Liberty in 2019, played a year there, then transferred to Louisville, was immediately all conference at Louisville. And he's a natural slot corner with just awesome feet, like Jason Verrett kind of feet. To my good friend Tony Pauline, who scouts in the NFL and has done this for years, has been raving about Clark and says that the 49ers are one of a few teams that's showing a lot of interest in Clark leading into the draft. Now, a lot of people expect that he's going to be a fourth-round player. A lot of people have a fourth-round grade on Kei'Trel Clark. But the 49ers have 3 picks there at the end of the third round. And I would not be shocked at all if they use one of those picks on Clark. I love this player. He's small, but he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He's got tremendous upside. This guy's super competitive for the ball in the air. And he's just always around the football. And you can't coach that. You absolutely can't coach that. Now, the Niners aren't the only team showing interest. Pittsburgh wants him. Cincinnati, Arizona have also sniffed around. But this guy is a tremendous player. He's much more of a slot player. He's much more of a sub-package type player. But man, the burst is elite. The footwork is elite. The speed his functional speed is tremendous. He's always around the football. And in 3 seasons at Louisville, he had 28 pass breakups and 5 interceptions. So you're talking about, a guy who runs well. He can mirror the elite slot wide receivers up and down the field. Then he went to the East-West Shrine practices and the East-West Shrine game in St. Petersburg. He looked awesome. He was one of the best players on the field during the East-West Shrine practices. Then he went to the Combine in February and looked elite in the corner position drills. Now, he opted out of the Fenway Bowl at the end of the year with Louisville to prep for the draft. So he's very serious about firing his best effort. What I love about him is you can't coach what this kid's got. He's got tremendous savvy, tremendous experience, super competitive, and then the burst is second to none. He closes space in an instant. Now, he's not a great run support player. I mean, he's 5'10", 181 pounds. This is a coverage player. He's going to struggle against some of the bigger slot wide receivers. Against the quicker slot wide receivers, he'll be fine. He'll mirror those guys. He'll shut them down. Against the bigger bodied slot receiver, he could struggle. Against run support, he could struggle. But what's so incredibly intriguing about Kei'Trel Clark is just that he's a great football player. You're going to find bigger guys, stronger guys. You're going to find quicker guys, faster guys. But this guy's got the total package. He's a really good football player. He's the kind of guy that you can put him in the slot, and he can mirror almost any of these tiny, quick, explosive slot receivers that the NFL is now filled with. And I really think that this is going to be a tremendous player. Incredible upside and just very, very competitive. And it's like, some guys you just kind of wonder, Wow, how do they do it? Why are they always around the football? That's this guy, Kei'Trel Clark. He's always around the football. He's super experienced. He understands the nuance of pass coverage, and he's just a really solid football player that I think is going to be able to take away the shifty small slot receivers that are starting to pop up all around the NFL. I think Clark can man those guys up. He's physical. He's got cockiness. He's got swagger. That's the one thing about all the best corners play with a little bit of swagger. This guy plays with tremendous swagger. I mean, he's got a chip on his shoulder. This guy's walking around with boulder shoulder. Other guys have a chip. This guy's got a boulder. He's very, very physical. I mean, for a 5'10", 80 pound nickel corner, this guy will pick you up and hurl you into the turf. I think he's elite as a slot player, as a sub package player. The burst is second to none. The speed, he can run down the field with big play guys. And he's got a tendency, he's got a real knack. Some guys have a knack to rush the passer if they're defensive ends. This guy's just got a knack to be in the right place at the right time in pass coverage. So I think he's an exciting player. If you can find an elite slot corner that can mirror the top speed slot receivers up and down the field, that's worth a ton. Your slot corner in today's NFL winds up playing more than your third linebacker. You think of teams that run a 4-3 like the Niners, you're like, well, those three starting backers are going to get a lot of snaps. Well, it's not really true. They kind of give you a 5-2 look at times, and then sometimes with an extra guy on the 5-man surface on the line of scrimmage, and then other times they're giving you a 4-3 look, but it's more like a 4-2-5 with 5 defensive backs in the nickel. And this guy is absolutely one of those guys you want on the field. So this is a difference-making player. He's going to pick off the ball, take it the other way. He's going to slam your receiver down into the ground. He's going to battle you at the line of scrimmage. And he's just a really productive, good football player. If he were 6 feet, 200 pounds, he'd be going 15th in the draft. But because he's 5'10", 181 pounds, he's probably going to be there when the Niners pick at the end of the third round. So remember that name on draft day, University of Louisville slot corner, Kei'Trel Clark. Tony Pauline loves him. I love him. And it sounds like, according to Pauline, the 49ers are showing a lot of interest in Mr. Clark. All right, that does it for our 49er video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being a proud sponsor of The Krug Show. Check them out in Emeryville, open Wednesday through Sunday. Check them out in Corte Madera, right there in Marin County. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. If you love barbecue, awesome barbecue, you're going to love Pig and a Pickle. Get the brisket chili. The potato chips cooked in the beef fat are amazing. Check it out, Pig and a Pickle. And thanks for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.